Hi, welcome to Sales Leadership, and thank you for joining us for Sales Coffee today. I'm Colleen Stanley, President of Sales Leadership, and this is Merritt Guest, our Master Trainer and Chief Belief Officer. We're here to talk to you today about emotional intelligence and how it affects sales results. You might be asking yourself, what the heck is emotional intelligence, and why should I care? Well, the technical term for emotional intelligence is it's an array of non-cognitive skills that help you deal with the demands and pressures of a changing environment. In layman's terms, it's basically being able to manage your emotions when you feel under the gun or under stress. Now, there's been a lot of research that shows that top sales professionals also possess some key emotional intelligence skills. A couple that I can think of are assertiveness, independence, self-regard. Merritt, what are some that you've run across in your work?
It's really important to have self-actualization. That's a constant love of learning. Assertiveness, you said that, stress tolerance, and happiness.
Yeah, which should be good news for all of you sales managers. Now let's talk about how this plays out in the sales world and why we as sales trainers really embarked on this journey to incorporate into our sales training process. Both Merritt and I have over a decade of sales training, have worked with hundreds, thousands of salespeople. And we would see where we would run a really top-notch sales training workshop. The content was good, the participants were good, they were executing role plays, and then what would happen?
They wouldn't execute it in the real world, and there's nothing more frustrating for a trainer and a coach than to have to spend our time and deliver good material and have it not produce a result for people in the real world where it counts. And that's where we looked at what is it that we can help people with. In addition to good selling skills and a process, what can we do to help them really execute when they're in a stressful situation?
We called it the knowing and doing gap because we did find many of our participants went out and actually did execute. It was maybe that small chunk that wasn't. So let me give you an example of where emotional intelligence and how emotions can run rampant if you don't learn how to manage and control them. You've got a selling situation. You go into the appointment, there's 3 potential buyers. 2 absolutely love you. They're happy you're there. They're getting you water, coffee, brownie. The other person is the tough prospect. They're not engaged. They're looking at their watch. Every bit of body language says you're wasting my time. Now, we've seen 3 emotional responses that come out of that. Fight, flight, or emotionally intelligence. Fight can look like this. I get equally defensive, we start going into combat, body language is matching. If I get asked about price, I give a terse answer as, you get what you pay for. What have you seen flight look like, Merritt?
Flight just, basically you ignore the hostile prospect and just talk to the 2 people that are a little bit more engaged and really like you. And so by doing that, you're really avoiding any potential conflict. And you're probably missing out on a lot of the things that are going to be important for you to learn in the sales process from this difficult prospect who might end up being the economic buyer.
So the third response is the emotional intelligence response. And we have a little friend that we bring with us. It's our sales elephant. The emotionally intelligent salesperson understands the dynamics. They're not responding to them. However, they have the courage and self-regard to bring up the sales elephant. And the sales elephant is this: Merritt's not engaged. So that conversation could sound like, you know, Merritt, I'm getting the feeling that what we're talking about today isn't of value or interest. Should we redirect this conversation in another format, another direction? Now, what you've just done there is you've called the elephant. Everyone knows Merritt's not engaged. And at this point, the burden of the conversation, the agenda, is put really where it needs to be, on the prospect. And frankly, if you aren't talking about something that's of interest, for heaven's sakes, change the conversation. So this is just a small example of the many ways that emotional intelligence skill training enhances and improves sales skill training and sales results. Thanks for joining us today at Sales Leadership. Enjoy your cup of coffee.